Welcome back to a special edition of Kanika's Corner, and today it's a mobile corner. I'm talking about why we missed putting up a video last week, purely because I wasn't well. My third trimester of this pregnancy started off with a bang, where I came down with chills, fever, body ache, a really bad cough. And it ended up being so bad that I had to be hospitalized. And just at the same time, my father had similar symptoms. So both Appa and me were in the hospital for nearly a week. And I've got to say, it was not a nice experience. So very funnily, it turns out that my father got dengue and I got chikungunya, both at the same time. And thankfully, no one else in our extended family was affected, because I've got to say this was sort of, the symptoms were very difficult to deal with, and being hospitalized was not a nice experience. For me, of course, I had this worry, am I going into premature labor, because there was so much of body pain. I couldn't differentiate between what was happening. But thankfully, we got intervention at the right time. My fever was controlled, and that means the fetus was not affected. And I was at 29 weeks, so the baby is fully formed. So in that way, we had all of those pluses. But this cough that I had that made me leak whenever I would cough, made me feel glad that I have done some exercises, because if I hadn't done those exercises, imagine my bladder would not even be strong enough to deal with that little bit of cough. So okay, we are full of body pain, can't move around too much, and so I was mainly bedbound even during the time in hospital. Anytime I had to get out of bed, I needed a lot of support. I needed at least one person helping me out, or even trying to turn. The one good thing that came out of it is that I think this little one inside Bulbul got my undivided attention. I wasn't running behind Ducky. So Bulbul took full advantage of it and was, kicking up quite a storm inside me. And actually, for the first time through this whole pregnancy, I felt a lot of movements. It felt really nice, to feel all of this activity. Downside of all that activity was that my acid reflux would start. Another wonderful sign of the third trimester. But Bulbul was like sort of saying, "Hey, hi, Amma, I'm here. How are you doing? Get better soon. I want to eat yummy food. You're having nausea. Your nausea doesn't help me because I want to eat something. And here you're looking at food and saying, can't eat, can't eat." Ducky was a major concern for me, because this was the first time I left home while she was asleep to go to the hospital. And there was this worry of, how will she manage? Mom, of course, was incredible. Amma would do night duty with us in the hospital, and then she would make sure she was here in time for Ducky to wake up in the morning. And she would take care of her, get her ready, send her off to school. My brother, my sister-in-law, and their two children, who are all very close to Ducky, they actually moved into the house just so that they could be there to divert her mind and take care of her and help entertain her. Incredible, what a difference family support can make, because 6 days in the hospital, and it was only towards that last day and a half that Ducky would keep looking for me. But you distract her and she would go off and do that. So to me, having that sort of support of people who know Ducky and who Ducky enjoys made such a big difference to her, that when I came back home, she continued to be that happy little child. She wanted to hug me. The first day she clung on to me and wanted to be wherever I was. But other than that, hey, she was absolutely the same person. And that was only because, we have this kind of support. And she didn't see me. I think that made a difference. Not seeing me sick and not seeing me incapable of doing things helped her deal with this whole situation better. As my fever went away and I started to feel a little better, I developed rashes. Red, angry rashes all over. And I was like, oh man, what is this? I thought I was going to get better and, be released from the hospital. And this was 2 days before my discharge. But the doctor came in and was very excited. And she's like, hey, you got itchy rashes. That's a good sign, because it means the viral infection is now going into the recovery phase. And all I could think of was, I just want the rashes to go. Not only am I bedbound and having lots of lower back pain and leg pain because of of the chikungunya and the pregnancy, but I didn't want rashes and itching on top of it. Not that I had a choice. Very, very grateful. They lasted only for 3 days and then they went away. One of the things of chikungunya is that the after effect can be quite bad. And 4 days after I came back home, I woke up in the morning not being able to put my feet down. I couldn't put any weight on it because the next phase had started. I had swelling, I had joint pain, so painful. I never imagined that, foot pain could be so bad. But I could not even do this, putting my feet on the leg rests of the wheelchair just didn't happen. And this is where the wheelchair came in, just so that I could move from my bed to go to the loo. Everything was given to me in bed, but just for me to move that short distance, I had this wheelchair. Amma would help me into the wheelchair and then off I would go. She would push me, I would do whatever is needed and come back. Day 2 of the swelling and leg pain became worse, and I couldn't even do this much in the wheelchair. So a little portable potty was put next to the bed, and I sort of would put my whole weight on my mother to get up and then sit there, do my job, and then get back in bed. I'm so exhausted by the time I did just this. Now, this happened on a Sunday when Ducky was home and there was no school and no outside entertainment as such. And she found it so difficult to understand what was happening to me. Because, just the previous night when she slept, I was running behind her. And here I couldn't move. And every time I moved, I was saying an ouch or, in pain. And I think that distressed her so much. She was so uncomfortable with the fact that I was not my usual self. And so for 2 days, she became really clingy and cranky until she got used to me, that this is my current state, and my pain reduced a little bit such that it wasn't showing on my face all the time. So a learning from this was that while Ducky dealt with my hospital visit much better, for her, seeing me face to face and not seeing me as my usual self actually made a bigger impact on her than if I was just out of sight, out of mind. To give you an idea on how focused the body was on healing itself, during this pregnancy, I've had to cut my nails once a week. But for 10 full days, it didn't grow at all. Neither did my hair, nothing. Because the body was just focused on healing itself and, dealing with the virus inside. So it was only after the 2-week mark that I had to cut my nails. Incredible how complex the body is and, how well it knows to take care of itself. It's been 3 weeks since our whole chikungunya saga started, and I'm really glad I'm at least at this stage where I can sit up here, have a chat with all of you, and I feel capable enough of doing it. I hope for my recovery to move much faster, because I'd like there to be at least I'd like me to feel physically normal by the time delivery time comes around. I don't want to be in this kind of pain when I'm pushing out this little bulbul. So fingers crossed for that. But I've got to say a huge thank you to my big joint family who helped me through this whole process. And hopefully we will resume our regular schedule of putting up a video every Friday. And in those hopes, I'm going to talk about joint families and, the impact they have on us, what they mean to us, and in this day and age, having grown up in a joint family. So looking forward to catching up with all of you the next week. And until then, stay safe away from mosquitoes, and hopefully no one will bite you. So thank you for watching today, and please subscribe.